There are sounds in a winter forest that have nothing to do with the wind, and I learned that the hard way. Let me start by saying I have moderate hearing loss. The world is often a quiet, muffled place for me. Some experiences leave me with more questions than answers, and what happened last January is one of them. I live in a sleepy town on the edge of a vast woodland in eastern Canada. It's peaceful. Everyone knows each other, which makes it feel safe. In the colder months, I take my dog, a shepherd Malamute mix named Coda, for long walks on the wooded trails. He's my running partner and my ears. One gray afternoon, after a heavy snowfall, we headed out. The paths were a clean sheet of white, marked only by a few old paw prints. The light was already fading. Winter days are so short. I let Coda off his leash to roam. We walked for a while before I chose a less traveled route, one I knew led to an open overlook. I wanted to test the new monocular I'd received for the holidays. I remember scanning the tree line. That's when I spotted it. A faded green canopy tucked between the pines, a rough shelter. I felt a pull of curiosity, but the deepening gloom urged me home. As we turned back, Coda's demeanor shifted. He was tense, sniffing the air intently. I looked down. A new set of boot prints, far larger than mine, marked the path ahead. They hadn't been there before. The trail had no turn-offs. Someone had come up behind us while I was distracted. A logical explanation, I told myself. Just a late hiker. But the tightness in my chest disagreed. It was now much darker. Coda froze, then erupted into furious barking behind me. I spun around. A tall man, well over 6 feet, stood maybe 10 feet away. He wore gray winter gear and a pale jacket. His hands were buried in his pockets. He was a complete stranger. His lips were moving, but in the poor light, I couldn't make out his words. Was it English? French? I felt utterly exposed, having foolishly left my cell behind. I gestured to my ear, shouting that I couldn't hear him and that I needed to get home. He just stared. The forest holds its breath for those who cannot hear the warnings. We got back just before full dark. I shook it off, went through my evening routine. But at 2:47 a.m., a notification chimed. A neighbor's text. "Is everything okay? Coda's been barking nonstop for 10 minutes. I sat up. Coda wasn't in the room. I found him downstairs, a growling statue in front of the glass patio doors. My vision adjusted slowly. Then the motion-activated floodlight kicked on. The man from the woods was standing in my backyard, staring directly at the house. I didn't think. I backed away and texted emergency services. I've never moved so fast. I ran upstairs, grabbed the tactical knife from my nightstand, and barricaded myself with Coda. I'm trained to defend myself, but your only real goal is to avoid a fight altogether. We waited. Then Coda lunged at the bedroom door, snarling. A shadow slid across the gap under it. Someone was right there. My hands were slick with sweat. I watched that shadow, waiting for the handle to turn. It felt like an hour. It never did. The police arrived soon after. They found the patio glass shattered. The back gate, which opens to the forest, was swung wide. They searched but found no one. I told them about the shelter. I stayed with a friend for a week. I never heard another word from the authorities. Now, Coda and I only walk on cleared, open roads. My name is Chloe. Last December, my younger brother Leo and I, both in high school, decided to sneak into an R-rated horror film. We got in easily. Halfway through the movie, my phone rang loudly, drawing annoyed glares. We scrambled out, embarrassed. Checking my phone, I saw a missed call and a text from our dad. "The diner near the site is closed. Can you bring me a late lunch?" It seemed normal. We drove home, packed a meal, and headed to the state forest where his crew was working. We loved it there. It was quiet and beautiful, with a steep slope leading to a frozen pond. We called him. No answer. Puzzled, we texted that we'd arrived. He replied instantly, "Come down to the water's edge. I'll meet you there." The winter sun was setting, painting the sky in deep oranges and purples. Leo pointed. A figure in a dark coat sat on the dock, back to us. We assumed it was Dad. We called his name. No response. Leo grew nervous. I stepped forward and tugged back the figure's hood. It was a man with a wild grin holding our father's phone. He began waving it, delighted by our terror. I demanded to know why he had it. He answered by grabbing Leo's wrist. I yanked my brother free, and we ran. I heard heavy footfalls closing in behind us. We reached the car, locked the doors, and I reversed wildly. As I sped off, I saw the man in my rear view, then he ducked out of sight. At home, our frantic story met our dad's fury. His phone had been stolen from his truck that morning. The police tracked it and retrieved it from the dock. Case closed, they said. 6 hours later, a text from an unknown number lit up my screen. Your bedroom glow is the only light on the block. A silent phone can be the loudest alarm you'll ever hear. My blood turned to ice. I muted the TV. Rustling outside my second-story window, I peeked through the blinds. The man was there, smiling, raising a handgun. I screamed and dove as the window exploded inward. My family rushed in. Another crash sounded from downstairs. We locked the bedroom door and called 911. The police found an Apple AirTag stuck inside my car's wheel well. He'd placed it when he crouched by my tire. He was never caught. I live with the guilt of not questioning those silent calls soon enough. The blizzard of 2021 turned my drive home into a nightmare. After a long virtual work meeting, I was late to a family gathering. The roads were treacherously covered. My ancient sedan was no match for it. After the visit, I left far too late, having had a few drinks. The snow was deeper, the roads empty. It was a reckless mistake. Going too fast on an unplowed bend, I lost control. The car slid off the road and slammed into a pine tree. The airbag punched me in the face. I was dazed but unhurt. The car was wedged in a snowdrift. Roadside assistance said a tow was 40 minutes out. My dad agreed to come wait with me. I was utterly alone on a forest-lined stretch of road. That's when I heard it over the wind. Footsteps, crunching in the snow. I got out, calling, "Hello?" Nothing. Then a new sound, a thick, wet, gnawing noise from the trees. I saw a dark shape moving. No reply came. Spooked, I jumped back in the car and locked it. Thump. Something hit the passenger window. I got out again. Fresh boot prints encircled my vehicle, then trailed into the woods. And there were spots of blood in the snow. I retrieved my handgun from the glove box and followed the trail. The blood spots became a grisly trail. At the tree line, my phone's flashlight revealed a horrifying scene, a gutted deer carcass, its head removed. I saw no sign of the head. This was too much. I hurried back to the car. I opened the driver's door. There, placed neatly on my seat as if waiting, was the severed head of the deer, its glassy eyes staring up. I ran. I just ran down the road. My dad found me minutes later, frantic. We returned together. The prints remained, but the head was gone, leaving only a dark, wet stain on the upholstery. The carcass was gone too, just drag marks leading away. The tow truck came. We didn't call the police. I was too drained. I'll never know who was out there or what they wanted. Was it a cruel prank? Or was the deer a message meant for me? If these stories got under your skin, do the channel a solid and hit that like button. It truly helps Wines of Thought share more tales from the edge. Stay curious and stay safe out there.